extension didn't actually happen into this wave 3 nor this wave 1, and I want to argue that it actually might happen, at least according to this count, into wave 5. So what's the message in here? After this correction, I believe we're going to get a move up in JasmyCoin, and this thing right in here is actually going to get quite extended, and maybe we are going to see a big move up in order to even take the highest high around 4.5 cents. Okay, here is what we are going to do in today's video. We are going to go on some lower time frames and check out this move on the upside and see what is going on in it in terms of Elliott waves. And a spoiler alert, I think we are having some evidence that suggests this move up is not over yet, and we may not be even halfway there. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before going on some lower time frames and checking the structures in terms of Elliott waves, I need to tell you that in the next coming days, I'm going to put an hour to maybe even an hour and a half long video out for my members, and in it, I'm going to talk about the altcoins that I'm having and their bull run targets and what might be next for Bitcoin and altcoin market overall. So if you're interested in those informations, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. Just feel free to watch the public videos. Now, if you remember, the last time that we talked about JasmyCoin, we were right in here and we talked about having a big move on the upside, and it happened. Now, what was the idea in here that made me say we're going to get a solid move up? Here is the situation. If you are a new viewer, which I do know a lot of you are, because these days, every single time that I make new videos, I get a bunch of new viewers and subs, you need to know that in my analysis, I use a lot of Elliott waves. And in terms of Elliott waves, if you want to argue that, for example, we're going to have our final bottom around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low in this region a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. And for regular viewers, you might be wondering, why am I talking about this structure in every single video? That's because only about 20% of you are actually regular viewers. Around 80% of you in every video are new viewers. So I feel like I should talk about these structures so most of you do not get confused and understand what I'm about to do. Now, in terms of the subwaves, we must have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Doesn't really matter. Let's say, sure, ABC into 4 and yep, a W, X, Y into wave 2. Understood? Okay, let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So the idea in JasmyCoin back in here was that this can be a 5 wave up and followed by that a correction down. This can be also another 5 wave on the upside, and we were saying maybe we're going to have a correction in here and then afterwards another move up. And on a higher degree, we said we can have, if I just zoom out a bit more, excuse me, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure on the upside. Now, we said for wave 1, 3, and 5, we must have 5 wave up. Do we have it or not? Let's go on maybe 15-minute chart and see what is happening. I think we do actually have it. You see, I can argue from the lowest low in this area or maybe here, doesn't really matter a whole lot. This can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 1. ABC, generally some sort of a correction for wave 2, huge move up into wave 3, correction for 4, a very deep and sharp one. And then this might be our final move up into wave 5, which on a higher degree is going to be into this orange wave 5 right in here. And it means for now, our move up in JasmyCoin might actually be over. Does this mean that it's over temporarily? I find that extremely hard to believe, and I'm going to tell you why. You see, this orange one is actually a 5 wave up. So far, so good. However, on a higher degree, I'm willing to bet that it's actually into a larger degree wave 3, and this whole move down, whatever the shape of it is going to be, chances are it's just going to be a correction for 4, and after it, what's about to happen? Another big move on the upside into wave 5. And soon I do believe that in JasmyCoin we are finally going to take the highest high in this region. If I just hide everything, there we go, around 4.5 cents. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you not only I believe our move up is not over, but also I think we may not be even halfway there. Why was that? Well, you see, in a 5 wave impulsive structure up, something like this, one wave usually gets very much extended. Now, in a stock market, we usually do have a habit of extensions happening into wave 3. However, in crypto, gold, and commodity market, usually extensions do actually happen into wave 5. And based on that, we just said it earlier, this is a 1, 2, 3 correction for 4, and we're gonna have probably, according to this possibility, another big move up into wave 5, which is indeed going to get extended. So what's the message? This move operation here might be even a 100 to 200% move on the upside. And so far in this area, from the lowest low around 2 cents, we just had a 100% move. That's why I want to argue we may not be even halfway there in JasmyCoin. And even when we complete this wave 5 region here, our move up, I'm gonna say probably it's not over yet. Why is that? We talked about this move on the upside, this initial move, when it happened so many times. And for so many reasons, I was telling you, look, this is a 5 wave up, and followed by that, we are probably dealing with a correction structure on the downside, and we're gonna have a 1, 2 structure, something like this. And this thread 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is actually going to be into a wave 3 and then correction for 4. And well, if another strong extension is going to happen into this wave 5, then targets at the end of the bull run for JasmyCoin are going to be astronomical. But in the interest of not getting your hopes up that much, for now, let's not talk about those kinds of numbers. For now, let's just focus on the short term and see what might happen. Let's go on 15-minute chart. There we go. So we can have in this area different possibilities. If this is truly a correction structure for wave 4, then I'm going to say it's actually going to take some time. And here's a secret for you. I have done a time analysis, and this is a very touchy subject because every single time that people are going to talk about time analysis, they do get a lot of pushbacks, and some of it I would say is fair, and you don't really have to believe that time analysis is a real thing. But I have done a time analysis in here, and if this is actually a correction for wave 4, remember this one, it's going to take about 2 weeks, and I also expect something like a 2-week correction structure in Bitcoin and a lot of other altcoins. And after this is over, we can start another phase of the bull run. So I know this is a very bold call, but if it doesn't happen, I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just here trying to get it right 6 out of 10 times. And when I see the signs, I am definitely going to show it to you guys. And that's why I want to argue this correction in JasmyCoin and BTC and also a lot of alts might actually take a bit of time, somewhere around, I would say, 2 weeks. And again, after it, we're gonna have some more huge moves on the upside. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. This move up right in here can be in form of a 5-wave impulsive structure, and I can tell you maybe around the highest side in this region, about 4.3 cents, we completed this orange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. Now, if this is the case, I need you to understand our whole move up in JasmyCoin, there is a very high chance that it's not over, and I do find it extremely hard to believe that it's over, and from here we are going to start a bear market. And second, you need to understand that we may have, again, just may have completed the subwaves for this larger degree wave 3, and we can have a correction structure into wave 4, which might take a bit of time, somewhere around, I would say, 2 weeks. And this is a very important point. This correction into wave 4 may not be even that deep. Now, what if we get, for example, a relatively deep move on the downside? At that point, believe it or not, I'm actually going to be much more bullish in JasmyCoin. The only way that I'm going to flip absolutely bearish is if we get a big move down from here in order to take this low and also this one. Do this, and at that point, fair enough, I'm gonna say I was wrong. But as long as we're not doing that, I'm going to stick with my bullish scenario that suggests not only our move up is not over, but also after this correction, we can expect some more magnificent moves on the upside. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in JasmyCoin's chart. Anyway, If you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.